have analyzed 197 seven-figures landing pages, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly what I learned. I'm going to split this video into sections, showing you the trends I've seen in terms of page structure, copywriting, images, and elements. So by the end of this, you should have a clear understanding of what a good landing page looks like and make the right adjustments to yours to improve your conversion rate as much as possible. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first trend I've seen for all these landing pages is that they all follow the same page structure. So the page structure that I found more common, it's basically an extension of the AIDA method, which stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. In fact, by being a bit more analytical, I've noticed that they all follow the ATIDCOA structure, which stands for attention, transformation, interest, desire, compare, objections, and action. So now we're going to dissect the whole structure and have a look at each individual one. And yeah, first of all, we have attention. Initially, all the landing pages try to grab my attention, either with a well-crafted image, a very strong video, a bold headline, or a super guarantee. And that's simply because the average user sees 130 websites a day. So if you want yours to stand out somehow, then you need to do something differently, either by using different images, headlines, etc. Now, if you have a clothing brand, a restaurant, or a business that's visual heavy, then you should put a lot of emphasis on well-crafted images or videos showing exactly your product or your service. On the other hand, if you are offering a service or something that solves an issue, then you should try to grab their attention with a strong headline or maybe a guarantee. Now that we have the attention side out of the way, let's have a look at the second one, transformation. Now, I've noticed that probably 8 out of the 10 landing pages I've seen, they all show you the journey from where you are now and where you will be after using the product or the service. And let me just give you a quick example. Now, say that you want to lose weight. This is very common in the industry. So let's assume that they sell protein powder or a new slimming formula. So they will show you the journey that you will go through from where you are now and where you will be after using their product, after using their protein powder. And they often do this with before and after, with testimonials, etc. And honestly, this is a staple for landing pages. So you want your customers or clients to see what it is like to use your product or use your service. And this is where you basically connect with them on an emotional level. Now, the next one up is interest. So this is where you get them interested in your product. They're now sold into a transformation and they want to know exactly how your product works and how it is different from your competition. Once again, this is applicable to both a service and a product. So if you have a SaaS company, for example, you want to show the benefits of your software. Is it saving people money, time, or it's overall a better option compared to the market? Likewise for the product, you need to show them exactly how you're different than the average product on the market. And the super important fact here is that you need to focus on the benefits rather than the features. Let me just give you a quick example. This is a YouTube growth info product. And yes, as you can see, they're mentioning the features. However, the main focus is the benefits. So most of the benefits, in fact, follow this format. You will achieve XYZ so that you can ... And obviously, although, it's not always word by word, but, you kind of get the idea. Now, the next one, it's desire. So this is where you can use social proof, such as testimonials, reviews, etc., to show to the potential buyer that there is desire for your product, that there is a demand for it. Social proof is an extremely powerful way to build trust, because after all, the potential buyer wants to be sure that this product or service is right for them. And most importantly, they need to understand that this is going to solve the issue. Imagine social proof as one of your friends recommending you a bar or activity. So this section will go a long way. And in fact, arguably, this is one of the most important ones. And especially for services or service-based businesses, this is incredibly important. 80% of your business will come from your social proof and, from results and case studies. Now, next up, we have the compare section. This is where you position your product or service against your direct competitor. And obviously, because you're in control of this, you can be slightly biased. And just have a look at this example. So this is essentially a software that combines the functionalities of 7 other softwares for a fraction of the price. Now, because this new software is placed against big names such as Slack, Monday, or Notion, it gains authority in the customer's eyes. So by this point, they truly perceive the new software as a better option, both in price and functionalities. So next up, we have objections. So by this point, they know exactly the benefits of your product or service, and they know how it compares to the market. However, they still might have some objections in their head. So these could be things like, oh, is this going to work for me? What if I don't like it? What if this software doesn't deliver? Would I get a refund? And how long will it take for me to see the results promised? Obviously, there are way more, but these are just some examples. So this is essentially the section where you can employ your mind reading games. So you basically need to address the last questions that a customer might have when buying or deciding to buy your product or service. And obviously, if you do it properly, then you will eventually get your sale. 90% of the landing pages, in fact, they try to truly utilize the FAQ section, and they use this to basically answer all the possible questions that the customers might have. Just as a side note, objections handling is actually much harder to do over a landing page than over a call or in person. And that's simply because it's a one-way communication where you speak to your customer, but you don't actually hear the feedback. And obviously this makes things much harder. You need to really understand your customer, the objections they might have, and how to address them. And obviously the better you become at objections handling over a landing page or calls or in person, the easier it is for you to get a sale. And it's just simple as that. And finally, you want your customers to take action. So they now have all the information to make a decision. And obviously, if they're the right customer and if you did everything right, then you should see a sale. Just one quick note, after having a look at some of the high ticket products landing pages, I've noticed that there is a call to action after each section. So some might be convinced at the transformation stage, some might be convinced at the desire stage, or others might be more picky and want to go through your whole landing page to be able to make an informed decision and buy your product or service. Right, so now that we have the page structure in place, let's have a look at copywriting. As I mentioned at the beginning, most of the pages had a strong headline or a bold guarantee at the beginning of the page. And the most effective way to do this is to have a promise at the beginning, say, I will get you XYZ results, and put a time frame for it. So say, I will get you XYZ results in 30 days. And that's normally a strong and bold guarantee. Guarantees are basically used to eliminate the friction from them thinking about buying your product or service. So there is no risk on their end. And basically you want to have a very strong guarantee that will essentially keep you up at night and make you work extra hard to get results to your customers. And if you don't have that, then I would suggest you to go back to the drawing board and craft something that's going to do that for you. Obviously, this excludes some of the premium e-commerce brands, clothing brands, restaurants, etc., which are more visual focused. So they will have, instead of a bold headline or a guarantee, they will have images of their products, and that will be more convincing for them to make you buy. But generally speaking, you want to have a very easy to understand and concise language throughout your whole landing page, and always focus on the benefits rather than the features of your products or service. That's going to be one of the main staples for copywriting. In fact, unless you are aiming for a very niche market where you need to use a specific language, your whole landing page should be very easy. I would say around 5th to 6th grade. And if you want to find out how good your copy is, then I would suggest you to use either Hemingway or ChatGPT, and you will be able to find out what's the readability level, also how you can improve this. Maybe you can find synonyms for certain words that are, too complex, etc. Now, finally, we have visuals and images. These are key elements of your landing page. In fact, it can distinguish your brand from the competition. The most successful landing pages that I've analyzed, in fact, use high quality images and videos. And they also go to the extent of using 3D models to represent the product, or maybe add an extra touch to their landing page, regardless if they're selling a service as well. And using high quality elements on your landing page can basically silently tell your customer that you're a premium brand. You're not here to just make a quick buck. You're here for the long term, and you want to position your brand at a higher, as a premium brand, basically. And just a quick tip here, if you want to, skyrocket your conversion rate, I would strongly suggest you to use 3D models. And this is not just me saying it. If you have a look at official Shopify statistics, it shows that if you have 3D models on your website, you can increase conversion rate by up to 40%. So obviously this is well received by customers, going on websites and landing pages. So yeah, just a quick tip for you there. And on this note, we conclude today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful for either your own brand or your clients or agency work. And if you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We will post one video every Sunday, and it's going to be around e-commerce, marketing, and advertising. So yeah, make sure you stick around. That being said, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.